This is an International Harvester TD-25 Series C bulldozer paired with a sheep's foot roller. It's made by First Gear. It's in 1/25th scale. Now the TD-25 was built by International to be a direct competitor to the Caterpillar D8. I think like a D8K maybe around that time, maybe an H. H is probably too late. Or K is too late. H, well, I don't know. Anyway, it's a D8 size machine. Now, International, they built a decent machine, but it wasn't a Caterpillar. So they were pretty much always like the number two competitor to Caterpillar. Alex Chalmers made some nice stuff. Euclid made some decent stuff. But for the most part, International was always the number two. Caterpillar was always number one. And as hard as International tried, they never really got there. But the TD-25 was a pretty nice, pretty decent machine. Now, First Gear made about 3,000 versions of these TD-25s. They're in all sorts of different colors. There's a green one for the Army. There's red ones for the fire service. There's the white one here, obviously, the standard yellow. There's ones with root rakes and rippers and rops and cabs. This one has an umbrella that's still in the box. All kinds of different versions of these crawlers, bulldozers, whatever you want to call them. And they're all nice. But I'm kind of partial to the white one just because it really looks good. All the little details in the Dozer really kind of stand out. And it just works. It just works well. Now the detail on this is pretty darn good. It's still back when it was still made back when First Gear used mostly metal. The finer detailing parts are plastic, and you can see where the glue's kind of yellowed on the steering levers there, and the blade control, which it kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. I think this Dozer is probably somewhere between 10 to 15 years old, and you know, that kind of stuff happens. It could always be worse. You can see the other side of the motor there, and just First Gear just did such a good job with the details. You can see the operator station there with the power shift here, and all the controls and everything. It just it's really nice. All these First Gear 1/25th scale models are just fantastic. They really are. Now, this does come with a sheep's foot roller. Now, a sheep's foot roller, if you're unaware, back in the day, or as you call it, back in the day, before they had the vibrating rollers, they would use these sheep's foot rollers. And the way it works is, so you could do it one of two ways. You'd have one dozer running the fill, and you'd have the sheep's foot roller behind him packing in the dirt, and you know, you just kind of go back and forth by yourself, and you could do the whole thing with one machine. But it wasn't terribly fast. A lot of times what they would do is they would have your newer, better, stronger dozer running the fill, and then you'd have your old secondary, more or less still running but not great dozer run the sheep's foot. And what they would do with the sheep's foot, you can see right here, you can see your fill right there. You would that's a plug. You would fill these drums up with either water or the old motor oil, or what have you. You could put anything in there you wanted. A lot of guys would put oil in there just for the fact that it wouldn't help rust out the drums. You know, if you had these things filled with water for 10 or 15 years, eventually you start getting holes in the drums, and once that happens, you are just going to be constantly welding up the holes and welding up the holes and welding up the holes until eventually the whole thing falls apart. So anyway, that's basically how that would work. It's really neat of First Gear to to put this set together with the sheep's foot roller, it's a neat piece of you know, dirt moving history, I guess you could say. And they really didn't slouch on the roller either. You can see the castle nuts right there, and the sections are put together, so it's pretty stiff, but it gives you that little bit of flexibility like they would have really had. And it's really nice. It's definitely some pretty decent quality for, I wouldn't say it's an afterthought, but it's a pretty neat accessory. And if you really wanted to, I don't remember if they sold these separately or not, but if you wanted to get a second one, you could hook it up right there, because it does have a place so you can run two of them, I guess, in tandem, which is pretty neat. Anyway, that's about it. If you want to see more of what we have, please subscribe to Maryland Construction Diecast, and thanks for watching.